That card is so bad.
We ran into it so much. At least it felt like we did.
Okay, yeah, shows live.
Felt like we couldn't take 5 steps without it.
It's being hilarious. Okay. Alright, so that is live and playing, since I don't have a loading screen or any interface at the moment. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, lady and gentlemen, my player team, to our Torg Eternity limited campaign, known as Chasing the Eye. Our heroes are starting out Storm Knights. They've not that long ago had their not super long ago had their moment of crisis and did a little bit of work with the Delhi Council. Not enough to advance them really as characters, but enough to justify them being with the organization and being sent on a mission together, where they'll hopefully coexist and coagulate and continue to work together for the betterment of all. Now, in this scenario, we're opening up. They've been selected as the agents available. The initial team had countered something deep in the blasted lands of Tharcold, and we're trying to rush back towards main territory Europe to get it into the safekeeping of the Delhi Council. Now, unfortunately, those intrepids had to ditch it and were wiped out before they could report on where it was. Unfortunately, power attracts power sometimes in Tharcold. The Delhi Council then had sent in a secondary unit to locate the item that they had gotten a little bit of details on, but nothing super impressive or detailed. So they sent in a locating team, not the most field combative, but hopefully able to stay low and figure where things were. And they were able to determine that it was in a safe house a little bit outside of Lodz in Poland. Unfortunately, they noticed that it was under observation, the area, and they didn't have the firepower to go through, so they withdrew before they could make things worse. And that's where this group has been pulled together. A little bit more combat-oriented, some support roles mixed in, as well as some odd skills here and there that could help out in the mean streets of Tharcold. Now, this story does and will tie into our previous one-shot, where those heroes had prevented the creation of a new dim thread tree by the Gaunt Man in Orosh, but not the overall plans he was under. So we may see what's been going on as they take this item, try and get it out of Tharcold, and then follow the dots as they chase the eye. I am Michael B. Berthium, sometimes known as Nerthorn Gaming, or Dare, and I am the GM, and my players are, in no particular order, Josh Lapointe.
Hey folks, I will be playing Arthur McRae this evening.
Jessica Lapointe.
Hey, I will be playing Matilda Mouse Hornbuckle.
Alex Driscoll. Did everyone else get that? Because I didn't.
Nope.
Nope.
Sorry, I forgot I put myself on push to talk. Hi, I will be playing Ekal.
And last but not least, Chris Foucher.
I will be playing Matsumara Koji.
Now, as with most of our games here, played through Crucible Gaming, this is a lot of adult situations. This is a mature game. There are items that are not on the table due to people wishing to opt out of them, which is absolutely fine. After all, we want comfort and stability, but it is still a mature game. There is blood, there is swearing, there are bad situations. This is the world of the Earth in the not too distant future, which has been invaded from other realities, trying to not just take territory and people, but steal the energy of the world itself, all in a quest to become what they call the Torg. Now, what that is, no one seems to truly understand, other than it makes them the ultimate super big bad guy. Each region has its own leaders, and some of them are in worse shape than others. We open in Tharkold, which was invaded by the techno demons, and they've established their foothold through most of a lot of Slovakian Europe and Russia. There's a section in there where a bridge was put down near St. Petersburg and was promptly nuked by the then Russian leader, leading to a desolate wasteland called the Blasted Lands, where things mutate and terrible things happen. But this is a realm ruled over by demons enslaving humans, humans enslaving humans, humans enslaving demons. Psychics and pain-based technology abound. Okay. So we open up on our intrepid heroes as they're currently flying over Polish airspace in a large carrier plane, similar to what you would see in most military-style films. For example, they've converted one in various different MCU films as well, and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It's got a large open cargo bay with seats running on the sides, and they're just seated in there as the plane is flying into airspace. They're hoping to be able to land, but they did tell the group in advance you may need to jump, and there are parachutes and everything was provided. If you'd like to interact, we can begin as I raise the curtain.
They're gonna land this, right? Like, we're not gonna have to jump. I'm too old to jump.
I certainly hope so. I
Jumping would
mean,
not be the worst thing.
I'm not built to land well.
I'm
I
sure.
drop fast.
Sure, we'd have seen worse. This
Oh,
isn't the
I've
first
definitely
time.
seen worse, but doesn't mean I want to do it.
Do we already have our? Do we already have our parachutes donned at this point, or are they just basically sitting off in the corner?
Now you have them on just in case, because it's a large cargo vessel, and if things go bad, you'll want to get out quickly.
Okay, no, that's totally Arthur's thought process. Is exactly that. Err on the side of caution. So
Yeah, Ikal has his on, but does kind of fiddle with it occasionally. Like, being all this high up in the sky and wearing this stuff is unnatural.
No, they
Matilda
were.
would have her. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say they were expertly strapped on. You will note that no one was given. You were only given instructions on the emergency ripcord, because there is a automatic release that technologically is still supported in Tharkold, so there's no risk of any potential shifting in it not being there. But if the pressure release doesn't release properly, then you'll know, and you just pull the other cord.
This is. I miss my beach.
So Matilda would be sitting there with hers, but she would also be sitting with a hammer in her hand that's about the size that she is. So you could understand her concern.
just make sure you hold on to that thing if we need to jump.
Oh, don't worry, it ain't going anywhere.
Really don't want to have to deal with the head trauma.
Neither do I.
Koji is checking a large assortment of firearms that he keeps in a well-appointed duffel bag.
Ikal keeps watching out the big open side, flexing their claws. keeping their eyes glued to the ground, occasionally muttering to himself, "This place is nothing like the jungles of home. How does anyone survive here?"
roll me a find.
Okay. Did I do that right?
Yep.
Cool. Failed though.
Well, you failed against standard difficulty. This fortunately was actually easy. I maybe should have said that. I think it has the option telling me what difficulty it is on the roll, but I haven't
Let me
interfaced
check.
with it much.
Yeah, you can change what difficulty it is.
Yeah. So since we were only looking for since we're only looking for an 8 in this situation while you're looking around, at first you notice, because you're up in the upper clouds, you notice an odd shadow over on one of the clouds beneath the wings as you're flying, and you're looking down, and then you follow it up and you can see that there's a group of things flying. They seem to be keeping pace with the aircraft and slowly closing in.
We may have company. Neil point one of his jet black obsidian claws at the shadows.
Ah, for fuck's sakes.
Yeah, the shadow's really easy to see, fortunately, because they tend to be flying, trying to keep themselves hidden by the sunlight itself. But as they get closer to the and it's pointed out, and you look, the shadows break into 4 different shadows.
So they're purposely trying to stay out of the light?
Stay in the light so they can't be seen.
Oh, okay.
Well, I was hoping to get to the ground before I had to kill things.
And around that point, the plane starts to kick as if a normal person would consider maybe it's hit a rough patch of turbulence, but you're well aware that that's not what's happening here. So it's not really a surprise when you can start hearing the sputtering of one of the engines.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Is there a latch to kick open the back of this lovely
Yes, sir.
airplane?
Yeah, there's a big button towards the back that you can get up and hit, but as you get up, it's like you hear crack all over the intercom, and the co-pilot, "Under attack, we're kicking open the bay doors, you're gonna have to deploy, we'll lure them away." And as he's saying this, you can hear the soft crack of a automatic weapon that's attached to the plane itself firing. And the bay doors open, and you start to lose the ability to hear each other as the air pressure becomes swept up by all the turbulent winds.
Arthur will try to yell over the group, "We only live once!" and jumps off.
Fuck you, not if you do it right. Matilda will follow.
Ikal gives a battle roar and jumps.
Koji will ensure that his duffel bag full of guns is secured by multiple carbiners.
Yeah.
And I'll just yell back to the captain, like, are you sure you can't land? And then I'll follow.
Yeah. You're not quite sure, maybe swallowed up by the wind in your ears, but you think you heard a nervous laugh responding to your question, and something about the Czech Republic.
All right.
So the 4 of you glide down through the air. for the Dinos who's the least experienced with normal forms of air flight, it does feel remarkably like swimming, but swimming as the ground is slowly getting closer.
Cool.
You can see the plane is trying to valiantly fight off 4 large hulking forms attacking it. It has started to circle back towards where you guys came from, but one of the engines is clearly smoking, and another one is starting to throw up, started to shudder a little bit on the other side. So either they'll get out soon, or it ain't gonna go well, and hopefully they make it out on their own. Around the time that people might rationally start wondering how soon the parachutes will deploy, and as they start worrying about the land getting more definitive, things are... You go from going, oh, I think that's the roof of a house, to, oh, that's a 2-story building with balconies on it. And it's roughly the point where you're suddenly jerked up as your parachutes deploy.
Well, at least something works.
Now, if everyone can give me a evidence analysis... I'm looking for 8. It's not super concealed from here. Okay. Okay. Now,
I am really bad at that.
now Icall knows that based on what they were talking about, and your experiences in the ruins of the Living Lands in North America, that you should be expecting to be trying to aim towards a larger settlement of some kind. And where you currently are is quite sparse, quite rural. You can sort of make out what you believe could be towards the northeast or the northwest. It's hard to tell. Your eyes aren't used to this. However, our good friend with the bag of guns manages to make out that to the northeast, it looks like that'd be where you'd want to be headed, in time that you can potentially maneuver yourselves closer that way, so you don't necessarily land too far away.
Perfect. I will try to grab somebody's attention as we're kind of floating there with very little control, and gesture in the direction I think we should be heading.
Well, fortunately, the relative sound has dropped quite a bit, so you are able to be heard by each other. And the elementary instructions that were given in case of the parachuting, you can fairly easily navigate closer to that way as a group.
Excellent.
Awesome, let's go.
Just to keep your eyes open. I mean, if they attacked us in the sky, they might be expecting us on the ground if anybody watched our shoots or anything.
Several minutes pass. Unfortunately, because of the rural stretch that you're in, you're able to generally avoid any potential habitation after that initial couple buildings you saw, and land in a clearing. As Koji was absolutely on the lookout for anyone keeping an eye on them, and I know everyone else would be as well. Fortunately, in the pre-dusk light, no one seems to have noticed you. Alright, so you're on the ground. What do you want to do?
Does anybody have a map of the area?
I don't think so.
I got a compass. I'm digging in my survival kit.
As you dig in your survival kit, you find a really rough general map of the area that was crammed in with your stuff. You don't remember putting it there, though.
Oh. Unfold it. This looks right.
Right. Well, the thing we're looking for is in a safe house in Lotz, right?
Yeah, and the general outline of the area around Lutz and where you'll find the safe house is indicated on the rough map.
All right. Well, I guess we may as well start walking.
One of you knows how to read that thing, right?
Sure.
Once we have a much better idea of where we actually are, yes.
Okay. Just making sure.
While they all talk, Ikal is keeping an eye out, watching for anything coming. All that good stuff.
The air is very still. This reminds you of feelings you've had back in your homeland shortly after a new alpha had cowed the tribe. Like things are quiet, but it's almost a nervous quiet. Like no one wants to draw any attention to themselves. Now, since you're still in the wilds, that really says a lot about the state of the wildlife around here. And as you're pushing through the bushes, moving forward, the brush, Matilda's the first one through due to her sturdy stature, and there's a old rusted highway sign on the rural road that's not that far away from you that you can just make out Lodz 20 kilometers.
Hey, boys, there's some signage up here.
Only 20 kilometers of hellscape. Good.
I mean, the whole thing's hellscape, so what are you gonna do?
If we
Arthur
move
takes his
quickly,
rifle
we
off
should
his
get
back.
there before long.
I'm going to do the job, and then I'm going to go back to my beach and go fishing.
Now, as you're walking, you get closer to the sign. The fact that's also been graffitied and marked up becomes a lot more obvious than the initial sight. I know no one's going to really likely try and get too close to the road just because you're trying to avoid detection. But then again, you might want to get closer. That's all up to you in the end. But before you make that decision, you get close enough that you can see that the 20, that's not a 20. No, it's a much smaller number. It's 2.5. But they really dressed it up. There's a big white oak over the 5 that's faded.
Oh, good.
For fuck's sake.
Things are looking better already.
They were trying to hide how far away it was.
Oh, punks doing graffiti. See it at home all the time.
But there's also an odd scent in the wind the closer you get to the road itself. Most people from more advanced areas, and well, the Nile Empire is advanced enough. It's an odd mixture of diesel and gasoline fumes on the wind. There might not be anyone currently around here, but there has definitely been traffic recently on that road.
Let's stay off the road.
What's that funny smell?
Motorized vehicle.
Oh.
So yeah, let's stay off the road. We can go adjacent to it, but let's not stay on it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, when they mention that, Matilda does remember that some of the unconverted folks working with the forces of the light in Isle still have their modern Earth vehicles, but they don't use them very often, worried about preserving their fuel, etc. So you've never actually had to deal with the smell itself from one of those running.
It stinks.
Smells unnatural.
Smells like home.
Agreed.
Really? Y'all come from some weird places.
I much prefer clean air.
I gotta say, I'm the same.
Sand gets everywhere.
Yeah. Where I'm from, people pay money for clean air.
Really?
Oh, yes. I got a friend of mine opened up a bar. That's all he does is he just serves oxygen to people.
That blows my mind.
It's around that point that could just be the nature of the the hills and terrain around here. It could just be the fact that you've got the open highway, rural highway, right there, but you can hear the loud crackling, sputtering of some vehicle. It doesn't have any form of noise muffling or anything. It's just like roaring and chewing through the air. It's loud enough you can't quite place where it's coming from, but you do know something's getting closer.
So
Is there any
Is
brush
that-
we
is that
can
what's
try to
causing
hide
the
in?
smell?
There is brush a bit away from the highway. Not as far away as it might be under normal upkeep, but at a good distance still. You can get there, but you have to put an effort into finding a good hiding place.
Would that be a roll?
Yeah,
What would I be rolling?
hide or stealth.
Ah, okay.
I'm sorry, what were you saying, Jess?
Oh, I was just RPing Matilda's not knowing these things.
Get your head down.
What DN should I set it to?
This will be a 10.
Okay.
It's sparse scrub brush at this season. For the stuff closest, so it's trying to get there and get a good spot. Okay. So iCall does find a good spot that they can
So,
potentially
do
get
we-
the group over to.
do we all need to roll that, or is it just like one for the group?
Well, I'd like everyone to roll just so I know what I'm working with.
Okay.
But right now the group has a good spot.
Okay. Damn it. Actually, I'm supposed to be good at that.
I say it's all right. The person that rolled the worst was not you.
hi.
Ikal, seeing your attempts at hiding, definitely would mutter something about, "You would not survive a day in my homeland.
I'm used to more
T-Rexes would
trees.
catch you."
I'm used to more trees.
So everyone's able to settle in, get in and settle in. Matilda takes a little bit longer to get into a good spot, and then just as Arthur finally pushes deep enough into the brush that he can't be easily seen from the road, a large, like, very bright set of spotlight almost comes up the road from the direction that you're heading in, just sweeping over the land on both sides of the highway. If you hadn't gotten into the brush, you would definitely be illuminated. as a large vehicle, a mixture of almost like an army truck, but with a whole bunch of different plates of steel welded to it here and there. A push ram on the front of it, two giant smokestacks on either side, blowing out the blackest smoke you can. The tattered remnants covering up figures in the back as you can hear them hooping and hollering in a language you don't understand.
And I am totally just picturing Mad Max now.
Mad Max is
Yeah.
one of the common inspirations in the Blasted Lands. And it does affect much more of Tharkol than just that.
Is that normal around here?
I think normal's kind of relative, really.
When Matilda asks, even though the vehicle itself and the group in it seem to be very loud, like you can hear them. If you understood them, you'd be able to know exactly what they're saying from where you are. But as she asks, like part of the flap on the back flops up, and a metal glint sticks out of the side of the truck, looking in your direction as it slowly goes by.
Does that look like a weapon port or more like a scope or something?
It looks like it could be the barrel of a rifle.
Hmm.
And just as you realize that, with the sharp bark, it fires off some rounds, but it doesn't aim towards you. It's just shooting into the trees just past you. Followed by some good old hooting and hollering, and then the truck speeds back up. Leaving you in the sickening sweet air, but otherwise still night.
Well,
Either that was a coincidence or their hearing is very good.
If
Or
they're
they're-
hearing... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
or they're just firing off shots to, egged on by their friends.
As I
gonna
said,
say,
coincidence.
if their hearing's that good, wouldn't driving in something that loud be painful?
Get used to it.
Pain can give you strength. And as he says it, as he kind of flexes his claws.
Or it can knock you on your ass. Can go either way.
Arthur gets down from his crouched position and says, "All right, we got some kilometers. Let's go."
You guys get the
Alright.
sense that Matilda's probably a little bit naive for this world.
I am going to take the opportunity now to switch up my normal mag, and I'm going to put in electro rounds,
Okay. Noted.
just in case maybe they'll have a greater effect on the vehicle. Only one way to find out.
It's true.
Oh, quick question, GM. Do
Yes.
I have to have my hands free for component or for casting either miracles or spells, or does it literally say usually in the description?
It often says,
Okay, cool,
but generally you'll want at least a hand free.
good enough. Drop the rifle, start casting. Got it.
Or just shoulder it.
Okay.
Alright, well, fortunately after that, with everyone's nerves a little bit more on edge, every now and then a light, but nothing that actually gets close enough or closer. The 2.5 kilometers in the evening pass mostly uneventfully. Shortly afterwards, you find yourself coming up on the outskirts of Lodz.
On the plus side, they don't seem big on subtleties, so we shouldn't have to worry too much on things sneaking up on us.
Always be prepared. I would
I
not
mean-
let your guard down.
That's good. It gets hard to try and hide the hammer.
Even loud prey can be silent when it wants to.
Okay. And so, as you have a map, although it's not the greatest, and a compass, you can roll survival to follow it. Favored. Difficulty is 10. This will see how long it takes you to find your way.
Despite being from a hunter type society, my survival is actually not very good. So
It is-
somebody else should probably do that.
I was just gonna say, Chris, is yours half decent? Because mine isn't.
I am not a survivalist. I'm an assassin.
Cool. So I guess
What do
that's
you have?
13.
You're better
I-
than I am.
I have a 6.
5.
I have a 7.
Remember, it is
Okay.
favored. Difficulty 10.
A 13 in Torg is actually pretty good.
All right. Where do I click off favored after I click the skill test? Or do I just roll it standard DN?
On your character sheet, the little stars beside the skill, click that, and then do the roll.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Wow. Doesn't get much better.
Yep.
Okay, so despite not being familiar with the territory and the condition of the map itself, Arthur is fairly able to figure out where everyone needs to go and how to get there. He's able to pick up as well subtle signs and hints of the areas you're traveling through, so you're able to avoid most of the more chaotic territories, sections where active conflict for who's in charge, turf wars, anything like that's going on. And before too long, you find yourself having entered the safe house itself. You should have your tokens and vision.
Oh,
Nope.
it's so dark for me.
Okay, let me just set everything then. This is annoying. It's always that first time. Oh, wow.
Yeah, every time. I mean, I run so many games on Foundry. I'm always like, oh crap, I forgot the lighting.
Yeah.
Several hundred games on Foundry. You think I'd remember, but
Hopefully this is getting everyone their vision at least.
I
Looks
got
good.
it.
I've got it.
I can see.
Okay. Despite the condition of everything, there's still a decent amount of lighting, like a fair amount of light pollution still happens, even in the worst sections of Thargold. You're currently located within the safe house itself. The item is supposed to be hidden somewhere within there.
So, I have a question. Once we get the item, how the fuck are we supposed to get out of here?
Steal a car.
Yeah, you just drive off into the sunset.
Alright. She does not look happy about that answer.
Do you want to take a plane and have to jump back out again?
I'm not gonna lie, all of these mechanical things make me a little uncomfortable.
Arthur will start looking around the room. B, I apologize. Would this be like find?
Yes, people looking for the items would be rolling find to try and find the stash spot.
Hikal will help.
So will Matilda.
I'm going to keep my eye open to make sure we're not stuck up on.
Okay.
because my find sucks.
Actually,
Standard.
mine does too, so
Well-
I'll do the same thing.
Well,
That's
just
good.
helping doesn't.
Oh. What was that?
I don't know. Why did I move?
I believe I got dragged with someone else.
Oh. Yeah, I'm watching the whole group move.
I disappeared. Oh, there I am.
I think someone selected everyone. By accident.
Game says no splitting the party.
Okay. So it's going to take a bit for Arthur and Nykel to find what they're looking for. But I'll move you both in towards the deeper rooms. And put Mouse and Koji more towards the entrance. All right. As you can hear, Arthur starting to try and rummage through things with Nykel's help. One of the crates that they're trying to move to check a spot falls with a clatter, despite their best efforts. And
Probably whip my head around at the sound.
yeah. And as you come back from taking a look at the sound, you and Matilda notice a couple figures moving from underneath and around different ruined parts outside the building. Actually, ironically, Matilda's got the better view right now.
How do you want to play this, friend? Do we want to ward them off? Do we want to just start shooting? Do we want to wait and see what they do?
Let's be ready, but let's not instigate.
Sounds fair. She holds her hammer, like, in position.
But I will eject these megs and I will replace them with silence rounds.
Okay. Well, so what we're going to do is we're going to enter into a dramatic skill resolution scene where people may need to be fending off monsters or other villains while people are trying to find and recover the items or item.
Perfect.
Okay.
I do like how Torg Eternity does skill resolution. Like an amped up skill challenge from 4th edition.
Cool.
I'm trying to get this. It's my first time playing with it since the interface changed, so. Oh, excellent. That's a nice little feature there. Okay. I'll just. Alright, that's how I get. Excellent. Oh, I gotta. Oh, someone's gotta get changed. Oh. Josh is a bad guy.
Dun dun dun.
The truth is it.
Would not be
Dramatic.
surprising or the first time.
Dramatic reveal.
Easy way to sabotage your healer's the bad guy. Doesn't heal you. Ta-da!
Alright, so our first card is You Spot a Weakness. This is a standard scene. So under the current standard scene rules, the villains will go first and are stymied and the heroes have nothing, but they go second. Maneuver and taunt are your approved actions. It does have A, B, and D, so you can potentially multi-act to do both A and B to advance things, with the standard penalty for multi-actions. Now, the first challenge is a strength or dexterity check to move things or find a way to get at the spot that you found. The second check is a dexterity check to start rummaging around to try and find the latch, basically.
I've got strength and dex at 10.
Who tried to move stuff?
No.
I gotta check something. That's weird.
What you might want to do is if you go to the actors,
Yeah.
I think it might be me.
you might have it so that everybody has ownership over all the tokens. You can just configure the ownership.
Yeah. Owner. Oh yeah, owner. Observer.
Yeah, it's me. For some reason, the key I have bound as my push to talk key causes everything to move south.
Observer. Yeah, I'm just going through making sure everyone's like you can see each other and observe through each other, but only one person's supposed to be the owner.
What do you have as your push to talk key, Alex?
I had numpad 2.
Yep, that'll do it. Founder uses keybinds for movement, so
Yeah, so I changed it to star on my keypad. That doesn't appear to be screwing anything up.
And let's just interface with the tokens just so I can hit update token. Just in case.
yeah, I can move mine now, but I can't move others.
Okay. Okay. Excellent. Yep. Good.
Mine still seems to be connected to things. Oh.
Just collect one person's.
There we go.
Okay.
Sorry, it was being weird again for a second.
It's perfectly
I'm good
fine.
now.
Okay. So per standard, each square is counts as two meters towards your move. So you're aware. So having heard the sound, but not quite sure. And second here. Okay. So they do not appear to be immediately aware of where you are. They know it's somewhere in your direction. But that is their action. Is now the heroes go.
Right. I will yell incoming, find the thing quick.
Okay.
I can try to multi-act for it, where I have a 10 to dex.
You'd be doing better than I am.
Okay. So you will have a +1 modifier from the assist.
I will move forward a little bit to cover the door where I am melee.
Okay. You can absolutely go do that.
What should I put the DN at, or just leave it at 10 and let you go from there?
It's 10, but you have a +1 minus 2. So you're
+1 -2, so I'm at a -1.
Yeah.
I also will try to make sure to position myself so that I'm not obstructing Chris's line of fire.
Unless you're actually in melee with what he's shooting at, it's not usually an issue.
Okay. I wasn't sure.
You're in a 2 meter wide space, so it's a bit bigger
Oh,
than your
I'm
standard.
fine.
Yeah. Oh.
Uh-oh.
Well, the bright side is that's not a barred action, so it's not like you have to worry about a disconnect. You may now put a card down in your pool,
Yay!
and you and Josh have acted, so Josh can also put a card into his pool.
So how do I do that?
Second. I know in the not fancy thing, the non-display, you just click on put in pool.
Oh, okay.
So I think you just kind of like, maybe you drag it. No. Yeah, the non-fancy, you at least get to see, hover over each of them to read what it is. Oh, that's a shame. Yeah, so pick one of your cards to put into your pool. I know what one I would pick.
Okay.
Perfect. So on subsequent rounds, you could play those or you can trade them.
Yeah.
You can't give cards, but you can trade cards. Super important distinction I remember always having to remind people of. You may as well go ahead, Jess. I'll go last.
Were you just
Okay,
moving, or?
Yeah, I'm just moving to basically be able to cover the door. If they have advanced threateningly.
Well, yeah, they're clearly on edge and armed. They have SMGs and like spiked gauntlets. They do not look friendly. If you don't wish to attack, you can always try an interactive action like maneuver or taunt, or trick or intimidate to give them penalties on their upcoming action.
I will try to be intimidating, I guess.
Okay.
So I will stand in the doorway with my large hammer menacingly.
Yeah, so in the attacks and powers section of your sheet, you can just click intimidation.
Okay, I see that. I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna take me time to get used to the sheet.
Oh, that's fine. It's normal.
Okay, so I intimidated.
Yep.
Okay.
Now, normally, when you were doing an action like this, you'd have to declare how many people you want to affect, because the default is 1, and there's penalties for extra targets.
Okay.
That's
So
said.
do you...
Well,
Sorry, go ahead.
That said, you can affect 2 of them if you wish.
Okay, that's
and you
fair.
can either make it harder for them to succeed in their actions, or easier for them to be hit.
I think I'd like to make it easier for them to be hit.
Okay. Yeah, alright, so which 2 would you like to choose?
These 2 look like they're in the best
Okay.
position to see me, I guess.
I do appreciate how you say which 2, and I only see 2. Like,
Alright.
what do you mean there's more?
So,
I will
on that
label them
note,
both
Matilda
as-
will call back. I see at least 4.
Alright, well, that's Matilda's action, and you can now add a card to your pool.
Okay.
All right. This guy in the front.
Yep.
I'll yell at him and was like, if you want to leave that submachine gun, I don't have one of those for my collection yet, and then I will let you walk away. And I will taunt him.
You don't have that specific SMG, I'll note.
I do not. I have a bunch.
Yeah.
And if I have time, I can replace all of my weapons with ones from the Cosm.
Yep.
But It's a process.
Yeah, that's a nice little perk. Oh. It's so player's choice.
The player's choice is he tosses the submachine gun towards me and fucks off.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, so hearing your words and seeing you confidently holding your weapon there, and a bag which he recognizes is loaded down with more weaponry instinctively, even if he doesn't know the exact shapes in it or the bag type itself, he just like whips, just like straight arms his SMG towards you guys. It just barely clears the sandbags, and then he just fucks off down the road.
Perfect. And just because usually in Pathfinder I'll do this, so I'll mention the only reason I got that at center success was because Matilda made him vulnerable.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. You're welcome.
Yeah, that +2 was quite helpful.
And that's me.
Okay.
Now, if I remember correctly, I get to draw a card because I successfully taunted.
Yes, that is correct. And pick your card for your pool, which I don't think Jess has yet.
I did. I didn't. Did I do it wrong? Because I thought I put it in the thing.
Well, because it doesn't show up on the initiative track.
Oh. Okay, I must have did it wrong because I tried to drag it down into the...
No, you just click the box on in pool for the card stack.
Oh, okay.
Got it. I will play down an
There
alertness
we go.
card just in case you guys need it.
Yeah, just put an opponent fails. Always a good choice. And specifically, it's the post correction or the pre correction version, so it still affects anyone, not just someone targeting you.
Good.
Otherwise known as the most valuable opponent fails card in the deck.
Yay!
All right, our new initiative card is called Your Throne Back. It still has actions A and B available. Heroes will be going first, villains will be going second, but they have a flurry, meaning they get to act twice. Taunt and Trick are the approved actions.
Have you found it yet?
I'm gonna try again to double act.
Yep.
And if I understand correctly, I have the Supporter Destiny card, and I'm going to give the +3 to...
You can play it after.
Oh, after?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you might not need it. Or in the case of another roll like the last one, it might do nothing. You succeed even with the modifier.
Yeah, I couldn't find where to properly enter the modifier.
It goes in the typed up sections in the bottom. Like you would put in that you have a +1 from the
Okay.
assistance and then a -2 from multi-acting. But that's
Okay.
all right. We'll set you to step B. That card, for example, there you go, Josh. That card was needed. Alex gets to draw from the deck for succeeding in the actions. And then both you get to play another card into your pool.
How do I draw from the deck anyway?
Well, if you just go to your cards, you can just click Draw Destiny.
Thank you.
Welcome. See, there you go. There's the card that I was talking about. That's the only card that lets you reroll once. It's about the only way to reroll once, well, until they introduced Pan Pacifica Possibility Energy. And that's only for specific things.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Alright, that brings us to Matilda and Koji's actions whenever they wish to choose to go.
Go ahead.
So I can't intimidate again this time?
You can still intimidate. It's where it's not an approved. If it's an approved action, you get a card for succeeding on those actions to widen your selection. But if it's not, it's still a successful action potentially affecting targets.
Okay, I guess I will taunt then.
Okay.
And I'm gonna taunt this other guy that I can see here.
Just him?
I can try and taunt them both.
Okay, that's a -2 for the multi-target.
Okay. Sure, we'll try it.
Okay.
And basically I'm gonna look at them and be like, we already made one of your guys piss your pants. You might as well just go home. I'm not as scary as Chris.
Ooh.
Nope.
So how does that work?
Well, that's a failure.
Yeah.
That's the big thing.
Is there a silly question? Can Destiny cards be played
You can
by anybody? Like,
you can
can I
trade
second chance this?
You can trade Jessica for her opponent fails, so she can play the second chance.
Jessica, would you like to trade for a second chance for the opponent fails so you don't miss that?
Sure, I would like to do that.
Okay.
So pass 2.
Yeah. And Jessica, pass 2. Your opponent fails to Josh.
Okay, so to do that, open my cards. That?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the second chance. Oh, okay.
And then while you're in there, now since you're still in there, you can hit the play for your second chance.
Cool. And that would be okay, that one.
And now you can reroll.
Roll the taunt again. It was better than a nat 1.
Yeah.
I think it still fails though, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
it's still a failure because you're still looking for. Oh, actually, let me double check. Because you don't have your penalty in there.
No.
So it's still a failure. If your penalty had been and you still got an 8, you actually would have succeeded because they're defenses.
Okay.
Well, so you get to play another card into your pool though,
And it's better than a mishap.
yeah. Well, a mishap's a fail. It depends on what you're doing, whether or not it's worse than that.
All right. Well, this one guy that I can see, I have no idea who Matilda's yelling at.
Yeah.
I'm like, I think you switch back into your native language because I certainly don't understand you.
And she curses in Gaelic or whatever.
But this asshole up here,
Yep.
I will shoot him.
Yep. He's still vulnerable. Nice. Okay, so let me double check. Oh, it actually put their number in. Cool.
Yeah, if I've been playing a lot of games that require targeting, so I try to do it as a second nature.
Yeah.
So if you hover over somebody and hit the T, it'll target them, and then it should bring everything up.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that is successfully 2 shock to him.
It's a good success, so there should be a bonus die on the damage, right?
Yep. So roll your. There you go.
Oh shit!
Never mind. Oh, you got that nice 6 into a 5. You have blown him away.
And important to note with the silenced ammunition, the gun makes no noise at all.
No.
I love my technology. Doesn't even make a popping sound.
No, it's fully subsonic. And since an advanced round, it doesn't. You don't hear it discharge. basically Matilda only knows because like she sees that happen as she's like looking back sheepishly at her taunt and sees the faint hint of the smoke from the end of your barrel.
At which point I'm like, get up here.
Okay, well that's another
Okay.
card that can be put into your pool.
Yeah, and I will move up.
Yep.
And as a simple action, actually, I'll look at Matilda. It's like, are we staying quiet or are we going loud?
We're gonna go loud because we've already drawn more attention.
Perfect. So as a simple action, then I will draw out 2 9mm
Yeah.
out of my bag.
So those ones come out at the start of the villains get to go.
Yep.
Now that you see these two, Matilda may have a better understanding of why they were unfazed by her taunt, or believe that's why. As they step a little bit closer, and on their first action, they will open fire. Oh. Give that a try. As they will shoot at Matilda because they have no idea about that guy in a suit. Yet.
That's fine. That's fine.
So that's 2 points of shock as they spray you with their Thav 9. Now, unfortunately, as it is a flurry for the villains,
They get to attack me again.
Oh, there's more.
There's a lot more.
I love how I can't see shit.
Hurry up and find the thing. We got incoming, guys, and it's going to get real loud here.
yeah, you've already heard the which that bumps them to.
I am in the perfect position that I can see all of my party members and nothing else.
Despite adding even more people.
Yep, still can't see shit.
Yeah. They do 2 more points of shock to Matilda
Okay.
as the group sprays her down.
Ow.
Well, shock's not the worst, but it's not the best. Okay, new card. You seek an advantage. The villains will be going first. The heroes go second, and there is a surge, which is a reality check. Maneuver and trick are the approved actions. It does have A and C, so you'll be able to pursue C on your action. So, well, that's pretty straightforward. I'll just do that again.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Oh, wow.
Well, this is going well.
Yep.
Oh, we all need to reality
Yeah, make your
checks?
reality checks.
Really?
Yay! So
So the girl who's been scared the entire time because of cars is somehow this
Yeah.
is fine.
Alex and Josh could both click on possibility and roll another die.
I will try.
Chris, however, cannot.
I will just disconnect.
Yeah.
Wait, I have a drama in my pool.
I was just gonna say, can I use a supporter for Chris?
No, Chris
No.
has a he failed. That's
Yeah.
what a mishap is.
I rolled a 1.
Okay.
So how do I use possibilities?
You
Just
just-
mark them off and re-roll?
You just click the word possibility on your thing, and it should subtract 1 on your roll.
Oh, thanks.
There we go.
So I kind of need Chris. Is there any way I can shake him out of his disconnect?
No, he gets to make
No.
a check on his actual action though.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a free roll at the start of my turn to
Yeah.
reconnect. On the plus side, though, um,
There is a gun nearby he can grab. Worst case scenario.
yeah. What's the tech axiom in Tharkold? The 25?
Yeah, no, it's like I think it's 23. Cyberpapsy's 25.
Tarcold is 25.
Oh, no, you're right.
Oh, sweet. My gun still works.
Yeah.
I just can't do my fancy gun fu shit that I was going to do this time.
Yeah, the ways or paths, that's super neat because it's based on your skill level for what actions you can do.
Yep.
Yeah. So 2 more points of shock to Matilda as they shoot.
Ow.
So, as the first-time healer here in the system, at what point should I start caring about shock and wounds?
Well, 2 more points of shock, and I think I have a wound.
No,
I only
two
get
more-
3 wounds.
when you've maxed out your shock, you fall unconscious.
Okay. Well, 2 more points of shock, and I max out my shock.
Yeah. Shock is really easy to heal. Wounds are less so. Wounds are more threatening, but so far you've not had to worry about that. So you risk Matilda getting knocked out. That said, that's the villain's actions. Now you're on to Alex is on to step B, so pursuing step C. Step C is let me bring it up here. I had it written down. My fault. Step C is actually a dodge check. Because you're basically trying to avoid a spring-loaded little trap inside. So Alex succeeds on his own.
Woo!
And gets to draw a card and put one in his pool, freeing Arthur to go and do a heal if he likes.
Totally will. So, in relation to movement, you said every movement is 2 meters?
Yep.
And
I don't think you have to do touch for your healing, though, do you?
Just check. Yeah, healing's touch.
Okay, so can you move 12?
I can run 18.
Well,
But
you
no, I
can.
can only move 6.
Yeah, so you can rush and take a penalty, I believe. Just a moment here.
Okay. So I'll go there.
Yeah.
So how do I apply the penalty where...
So you'll click on you ran. So it's a -2 because you had to run to get there.
Okay. Alright, and first time casting, do I just hit miracle roll or
Well,
bonus roll?
there's a die roll for healing specifically. Like if you go to healing, it's got a little die beside it.
Okay, I see here. Movement penalty running.
Yeah.
Okay.
Standard success, so that heals all shock and the non-existent wound.
And as a simple, can I say stand back from the door?
You can certainly try. Whether you're listened to is a completely different story. Oh, and I forgot one thing. There. More obviously came in on the enemy's turn. That's all I was doing. All right, so you can put your new card in your pool there, having successfully acted, Josh. Yeah.
Okay.
And it leaves us once again with Jess and Chris, Matilda and Koji.
So, Matilda's gonna try and pick up the gun that they throw at Chris, because obviously I'm too far away to hit them with a hammer. And I'm gonna try and shoot at them from behind the sandbags.
Okay, that'd be a fire combat roll.
Okay. Oh, there it is. Okay.
Unfortunately, that's a miss on them because they have a 12.
Ha! Bastards. Alright. That's... I don't think there's anything else I can do.
You can move yourself to where you moved to in this behind the sandbags there.
Yeah.
Just so you're aware, like they're already shooting at you. Why wouldn't you melee?
Oh, I was just trying not to get closer to the gunfire, but I suppose it doesn't matter now, does it?
They've had really little difficulty pegging you where you were.
Alright, I will move up to melee with the closest one then.
Okay.
And I'll start punchy next round since the gun didn't seem to do anything.
Yeah.
I'm assuming I couldn't figure it out with the claws on her hands.
You can put a card in the pool. I will mention that per Josh's earlier question, and due to familiarity of the situation, supporter is a card you could play on that roll to have made her succeed.
Duly noted.
All right. So first of all, what type of zone are we in? Because there's penalties depending on what I'm in.
We are in a Thark cult dominant zone.
Alrighty. Well, as long as I can't spend possibilities because I am disconnected.
But there is a supporter potentially if you get close.
Yep.
Oh my god!
Oh, never mind.
Don't need it.
Nice.
All right, so I kind of shake my head to kind of phase back into reality. My armor kind of locks back into place.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay, thank God. And then these two guys at the front.
Yeah.
Since I've got twin 9mm, I am going to shoot both of them.
Okay.
I'm going to spend a shock to activate my gun fu, my path of the gun, to reduce the multi-target penalty by 2.
Okay.
And because they are because I have 2 firearms, I will fire short bursts.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll shoot a bunch of gun bullets downrange, but so that should be a net bonus of +2.
That sounds right. Yeah.
-2 for the targets, reduce the penalty by 2, and then +2 for the burst.
Sure, yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Ooh.
You know what? No, that is not going to fly. I'm going to use a possibility on that.
Okay.
All right. So that'll be 2 shock to each of them.
Okay.
Actually, do they have armor?
You realize that they have plates.
Because the Viper 9mm has AP2.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, so that actually is a wound and 2 shock on them, which kills both of them.
Oof.
Nice.
These ones are not quiet.
No. I mean,
But
you spaff the other guy anyway, but yeah, for the first time. So it's a good thing.
okay, perfect. And I will play down a rally card.
Okay.
Okay. That's me. And I'll look over at Arthur and say, like, did you find it?
Oh yeah.
Thank God.
Oh,
Working on
look at that.
Lovely.
They hesitate. It has the D. Heroes will be going first. Villains will be fatigued. Trick is the approved action. Yeah, the other guys to the combat order here because
So,
I'm a little slack on that.
Spee, I have a question.
Yeah.
If I want to keep this again, i.e., I have seize the initiative in my in pool for 2 rounds.
Yep.
Is that a thing?
So you have an option when it comes to seize the initiative. You can do it you can use it in one of 2 different ways. The first way is you can wait till towards the end of the round. Like you can wait till after the villains are done, but before I say I'm grabbing a new card,
Okay.
you can say I want to keep this one.
Okay, so
And
all
the
right,
other
I will
and
be
the other
probably doing
is
that.
and the other would be you wait until I draw a new card and you go, no, I don't like that one.
Oh, okay. Then, sorry, continue.
Yep. So you guys are out.
What is step D?
Step D is a one last dexterity check at a 12 to pull the thing out from the tight space it's been crammed into without damaging it.
I will spend a possibility.
Okay. That's almost a guaranteed.
And is that enough?
That is enough.
Cool.
So Aikal pulls out from over in the wall here. Aikal pulls out a odd shaped item or items in a tightly round burlap sack that's tied up with twine.
I got it. Let's get out of here.
And you can draw a card and play a card into your pool. Okay. Next.
Okay. I'm going to smash this guy's face in with my warhammer.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh my.
Well, let me check his other defenses. Oh well, on the bright side, quote unquote, it's a standard success. But your attack, oh, you just used melee weapons. If you look on your sheet for the future,
I thought I hit my hammer.
Yeah, you have to click the die beside the hammer.
I did.
It just said melee weapons.
Oh.
Oh, maybe that's the damage. Let me take a look at the write-up. Yeah, that's not your best. Yeah.
That's
So-
not even a big hit for my hammer, then.
No, well, just more in that case, it looks like you did choose the right one. But I'm going to just mention that your claws, like you mentioned, have armor piercing and are 1 less damage.
Oh, okay.
So basically, it's the difference of in this case, you did some shock to him with the hammer.
But the claws would have done some
The
wound.
claws would have actually wiped him out.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah. But you get to put a card into your pool, having acted.
But it still hurts.
Yeah. So it leaves Koji and Arthur.
Go ahead, Arthur.
Okay. I'm going to move past the sandbags.
Yeah.
And I'm going to try and finish off this cult tech.
Okay.
And it's humanoid, or looks to be.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Cool. I'm going to try this because I've been looking at it since character creation.
Oh.
Oh,
Well.
Poof.
Now he's dead.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty sure.
Congrats, you've obliterated somebody.
Yeah, since ignores armor, he's gone.
I can't
no,
see anything.
actually-
I just hear some screaming.
No, he's still there. He actually. That's not enough to have done a wound. I'm sorry, actually. Oh, that sucks.
What does Wither do on
It
an
ignore-
outstanding success?
Oh, yeah. What does it do? Outstanding.
Outstanding is +2 BD.
Oh, roll 2 bonus dice then.
So
So
how do
that's
we
the
do
BD.
that?
You click the BD.
Oh.
There you go.
Ooh, and you actually get to click it a second time.
Yeah,
Oh
you
my
get to click
gosh.
it one more time.
Oh,
Okay.
So he's paced now.
Fuck him up. Fuck him up.
Yeah, that's. Well, I mean, that's 4 wounds worth of damage, so that would have killed anyone in the group. No problemo. Arthur comes up, like you see him out of the shadow of the corner of your eye as you're pulling your hammer back from your swing. He extends a hand in this weird energy. What color would you describe your divine energy as being?
Oh, I'd probably say very yellow like the sands.
Okay, so that bright but also kind of pasty yellow of the desert sands seems to radiate from his palm. And the ganger that you're keeping your eye on, you just watch like the moisture just his flesh slowly desiccates. And by slowly, I mean like you watch it happening, not that it takes a while, until his skin is a rigor mask against his bones, and then he just collapses into dust, blowing away with the idle wind in the street.
Yay.
Nice.
You may put another card into your pool.
Matilda will look at him and be like, dude, you need to teach me that.
Oh, that's a great card.
Yeah, right.
I will slide up to here. Oh, more guys. What? I'm not even going to ask because I kind of point at the ash pile.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a pile of like metal and clothing that's still there and a gun. The dust is slowly being blown away.
I just look at him, don't fuck with the librarian.
Noted. Just got to check range on my guns.
Yep.
Range at 10, 25. Ooh, only 10. That asshole is out of range. Right. I still have enough movement, so I'll actually have to move a little bit forward. I'll give Arthur kind of a wide berth. I imagine the energy is still crackling around his hands.
Koji hops the sandbags behind him instead of beside him.
Yeah. And this guy and this guy.
Okay.
Again, I'll spend a shock to ignore the penalty.
Certainly.
Going through a bunch of ammunition, but oh well. So that is going to be 13 damage versus 8 because of the armor piercing.
And don't forget your bonus die for a good success.
Oh,
Well, I mean, what's the best that what's the worst that could happen? The bonus die is what you were actually looking for, though.
yeah. So that'll be 15 versus 8.
Yeah. So boom, boom. As they drop with precision shots.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hey, just tracking ammo.
Yep.
I'm good.
Yeah, so that's another card into your pool, sir.
Yep.
And I'm going to go ahead and seize the initiative. Not even going to need you to draw.
Okay. Well, let me just go through and assign some shock then while you play your card.
I put down a hero card.
What does the hero card do? Because I have one, but I'm not really understanding it properly, I'm sure.
It works like a possibility.
Okay.
So the rules are you can play a possibility on a roll unless you roll a 1 like I did.
Okay.
You can play a hero card as a possibility, or you can play a hero card on top of a possibility.
So you can use it like a reroll then?
Yeah, and the same with the drama card.
Okay.
If you get like a super high total and somebody has a glory card, then we do something really, really cool and awesome, and we infuse positive energy into the area.
Cool.
So that's when, like, if you start getting like a really high die roll, you're like, okay, possibility, hero, drama, let's see if we can hit. I think it's a 60? 50.
Yeah.
60.
60
Yeah.
on the dice.
Yeah.
That's where all those explosions come into play. Kaboom, kaboom.
There's just an acre of these fuckers. End of my turn, I will use the simple action to draw out the next weapons in the bag.
Yeah.
It's like playing horde mode on a video game.
It's great.
So they move forward on the villain action on their for the turn.
That's fine. Come at me. Get closer.
Oops, I will delete you by mistake.
That's not what I meant.
Put you back in.
So you for being
And
cocky, I
disconnected.
guess.
Yeah. So I will switch from the Viper 9mm to the Chayoki 13mm pistols. Slightly bigger guns coming.
However, despite the awesome display of gun skill that they've now witnessed, as opposed to watching the effects, and the hammer, there's something unspecial to be said about withering someone to death. So
Don't know what you're talking about.
So there's a very specific target in mind.
Oh,
As they go to gun down Arthur hard.
So, question. Opponent fails.
If you play your opponent fails, they'll have failed to hit you.
Okay. Then that's what I will do.
Okay.
that is a great use of that card. 3 wounds and 6 shock is
I
a
was-
lot.
Just going to say,
Well, it saves
3 wounds would have killed me. Yeah,
Well,
or knocking out.
no, yeah, because then you test for defeat after. Um,
That's fabulous.
but you would have had the possibility of your reality for soaking as well.
True. Yeah, soaking. Yeah, I forgot about that.
But you would have still been looking for an outstanding success to get all of it on that soak check. Anyway, so everyone briefly witnesses a moment where Arthur is gunned down. However, when the smoke from all the bullets actually clears, what you actually see is a whole bunch of bullets embedded into the sandbags and the wall, and Arthur sitting there unscathed.
I love not being able to see any of this.
Way to matrix that shit.
I was thinking more along the lines like Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
Oh, could I have moved on my turn?
Yeah, you could have moved still.
Oh, okay. Can I retroactively have moved?
Yeah.
Okay, 1 second. Let me check what my move is.
I'm just going to take one step further away from Arthur.
Well, you guys will be up here in a moment after Alex moves himself again.
Yep.
Okay. So you would have seen the outcome of that.
I still don't think I can see many of the enemies.
No. You know from the smoke and bullet fire that there was definitely more than the two you saw.
Yeah, I can see 2.
All right, heroes are back up on the new initiative.
I can't get to any of them in time, I don't think, unless I run.
Okay, Matilda's gonna go smash some people.
You are able to run to them. It is a -2 penalty on your attack roll.
Alright, so we're gonna do the Dragon Claws this time then.
Okay. Go for it, Matilda. And
Standard success.
that's enough to kill one because of the AP.
Yeah.
You may, if you have another card, you may put it into your pool.
I don't think I have any more cards.
I'm going to charge one of them, like running. The one I can see.
Yeah.
I'm about to fucking gun it. I think I
Yep.
can reach there with my run of 30.
Yeah, you can run it. The movement cost is supposed to be twice what it's showing, but it's fine.
I do have another
Sprint.
card, but I don't know how to add it to the pool because it doesn't
Oh,
have
that's
a
a
little
cosm
checkbox
card. That's a
beside.
different card. You can play that
Oh.
at any time for the effect that's on it, good and bad.
I'm good for now. Just because it does it to both sides.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's why I say good and bad.
And just let me check something real quick regarding my Death Claw.
Are you also armor piercing?
Yes,
Sweet.
but someone has to roll their bonus die.
I did not mean to post it in the chat, but I mean, that works.
Yep.
Yeah, strength 3, strength plus 3 damage, armor piercing 2.
Yes, roll your bonus dice. Thank you. Because there was a world where you failed to kill him.
Fair enough.
So Alex and I are just gonna finish the rest of these guys off with claws.
Well, yeah, like you just drove your clawed gauntlet into the midriff of the ganger in front of you, piercing through his clothes and armor, and he crumples into a heap. And when he's down in a heap, I call lands basically on top of him and just rends the guy that was beside him.
Yeah, just like charges past, battle roar, rips into him.
That's awesome.
All right, that per Chris's normal thing, that brings us to Arthur.
Yep.
Alright, well, I'm gonna walk in front of them.
Oh.
And, yeah, well, this worked last time. We're gonna try it again.
Now what's the actual target's defense?
So, it says... Faith or Spirit is the DN that I'm going against.
Okay. So it's actually it's still only a standard success.
It's pretty cool that it targets their faith, their spirit, though.
Yeah. Yeah, that is neat. Okay, so unless you're adding anything, that's just a couple more points of shock as his lips start to chap up. He looks a little... The bags under his eyes become a little bit more pronounced.
As a simple, can I take my rifle off my shoulder?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
All right. This guy
Yeah.
and that guy.
Okay.
Again, I'll spend a shock. It's getting costly, but so far they haven't shot me, so okay. So I'm just going to roll for my 9mm, but the damage on the 13mm is one higher, but there's no armor piercing.
Yeah.
After I took the talent, I'm like, shit, I'm going to have to get beat in, put like a ton of guns.
I inputted I inputted the Pan Pacifica ones because the rest of them should have already been in there.
Yeah. So
I may just need to make an extra folder for you that's called trench coat.
maybe. All right. Just a standard success.
Yeah.
But
If I add
will,
supporter to that, would that help?
Yeah.
Okay.
it would. It would give me up to add a bonus die.
There you go.
I can also
Go
be a
ahead.
supporter.
So, well, we only really need the one.
Yep.
I can burn mine, Alex.
That's 14 damage, but I will play my coup de grace card.
Okay.
Nice.
There we go.
That'll bring it to 18 damage.
Yep. And that is enough, despite the lack of armor piercing. It was close.
Yep.
So I think we need to have one of those scenes with Chris's character where they say to drop your weapons so he can just do the ridiculous like gun
Yeah.
pull.
Speaking of as a simple action, I will pull out the submachine guns out of the bag.
Nice. I like it.
I'm pretty sure I just heard from the other room of quietish laugh.
Yeah. The only downside with the trenchcoat warfare is you have to work your way down the list of guns.
Yeah.
I can't choose. I have to work my way down the list.
It's still neat, though.
It's the fact that they come out of the bag fully loaded that's nice.
It very much honestly reminds me of the scene in The Matrix where he walks in and it basically goes through the metal detector and it's filled to the brim, and to your point, just continues to grab guns, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, that's part of the whole idea behind it, and similar to that, or Il Duce Showdown in Boondock Saints, stuff like that.
Yep.
He has to use certain guns before he can use other guns because of how they're loaded on him to get the most space on his body.
Yep.
Yep. That's me. I just need to play a
Yeah.
card.
I want to watch Boondock Saints again now.
It's never a bad choice.
Maybe after game.
Well, he is a psychopath. So the ganger will rush in and try and drive his pain gauntlet into Nickel. Let's see, that's prowess. Okay. I don't know if it's taken into account, but I'll do that anyway. However, he misses. And our next initiative card likely the last one, is called They Regroup. Heroes will go first. Villains will have inspiration, so on his turn he'll wind up healing any shock he has. Taunt is the approved action.
Let me fuck him up. I've had to sit back and do dex.
I was going to say, would you like to kill him or shall I?
If you want to, if you want, I'll taunt him first and see if I can throw him off guard to make it easier for you to hit him.
Sounds fun.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah. So I'll go like, "Hey, asshole," and I'll judge at the guns and go like, "You're next."
Oh. I think he's more afraid of the wither than the guns at this point.
I've got a perfectly good hero card sitting there.
Yeah.
So that is a good success.
So very vulnerable, I'm guessing? Or
Yes, I will make him. I will make him very vulnerable.
Oh, not that one. Not that one. There we go. They're very small.
I just saw incapacitated show up a bunch.
Okay. So if you actually click on him and then hit T and then go to select your attack, you'll roll against his stat block, which is what Chris has been doing and I've been doing.
Okay, you go first, Alex, and then if you don't take him out, I'll finish him off.
I'm trying to figure out how to click him and get the T that you guys are seeing.
Well, you hit the letter T on your keyboard after you selected. Like you click on with your mouse to select him. You hit T on your keyboard. Yeah, that.
And then roll?
Yep. And then roll what you're using to attack. And see, so that way you can actually see how close you are as well.
Okay, just a second. Let me think here.
Would you like to trade a card, Alex?
Sure.
I have a hero card I'm not using.
Well, you can, more importantly, just because you're less experienced with it and Alex might not have that window at the moment, you can trade one of your cards that, like, say, the leadership or the alertness for the supporter Alex has, and then play the supporter for Alex.
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
I can give you my supporter. So I will pass that to you. And you pass me anyone you want.
There you go. Looks like
and
it's
then
done.
I will play.
And then you play me my supporter.
Yeah. So that's you. Then Alex just hits +3 card on that attack, and just like that,
Yay!
It doesn't mention the AP, which is fine. I know he's dead.
Yeah, because I have AP2.
Yeah. Bleh. Okay.
Well, that went better than I thought it was gonna go.
So at the end of combat, you pick up all the cards that are in your pool back to your hand. Or I hit end, it might do it automatically. And
we can only have 4, right?
You can only have 4. If you have less than 4, you can draw back up till you have 4. If you have more, you have to discard down, and then after you've discarded down, you do have the option to discard one of the cards you have that you're already holding for a new card.
I've got one kind of shitty card, so I'll discard a Maelstrom.
Yeah. Maelstrom. Well, I mean, Maelstrom does have the other play on it as well. No, oh no, that one doesn't. That one doesn't. Nemesis does.
Yeah.
Mine all look relatively decent. Adrenaline, glory, alertness, and hero.
Okay. Yep.
So Arthur will look around. Is anybody wounded?
No, as the stress of the fight ends, people that still have shock find it easing away. It goes away pretty much immediately.
Oh, that's convenient.
You do, while you're looking around, though, you do notice that up here is an intact enclosed garage door. It does sound like there are other things that may have been drawn to the fight, but they have not shown up yet.
So, do we lockpick the garage door, or do you want to just break it open?
Well, let's check to see if it's locked first.
It is locked.
I will catch up with the group after I finish putting the guns back in the bag.
Right. Well,
Pick up the new submachine gun.
silly question is just like an actual bolt lock or just like a mundane
No, it's
regular door?
It's got like it's got a Meister lock on it.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Okay, I'm going to gesture to the ones that's got more strength and say, hey, can you break that, please?
Okay.
You look at it and you're pretty sure your claw will just rip it apart.
Cool. Do you want me to roll that?
No,
Okay.
just describe how you're going to use your claw to break the lock.
So, I will basically go as though I'm grabbing the door handle and just kind of shred my claw through everything,
Okay.
and then push the door open.
Well, it's a roll up door.
Oh, okay.
But as you you cut through the lock, leave with the screech of metal, leaving marks on the door frame itself, and then afterwards you realize that you felt it jostle downwards as you clawed into it. So you kick upwards like the dwarven lass you are, and the door rolls up, and inside is a looks similar to the truck that you watched drive by the other night. Sitting in there.
Hey, boys, it's one of those big, loud military things.
Oh, nice. I was about to say, I think I know somebody in the neighborhood that could get us a vehicle, but this is handy.
Can we just, like, hotwire one of these?
Maybe. Let's just, and I'll do the thing. I'll check under the visor, see if the keys are in it.
Well, you climb in, you check under the visor, a couple little photographs, wallet clips fall into your lap, and as you look down to, you're like, oh Jesus, the fuck, you realize that it's just got like a lever to turn it on. It doesn't have a keyhole.
Okay. Anybody know how to drive?
That would be the land vehicle skill for anything other than just driving it. Otherwise, people from the proper tech level to drive vehicles can drive them normally.
Cool.
I actually have land vehicles.
I don't know how to drive cars. I'm a lizard.
What do you have in land vehicles?
I can just drive them normally, 1920s Egypt.
Oh,
So Matilda actually had a brief course on how to drive a mundane vehicle using an electric golf cart around one of the Army of the Light bases as the British troopers were showing her around.
that's totally what happened.
Do we need to get like a phone book or something so you can see over the dash?
Yeah, I'm 4 foot. I should be okay.
It is a little awkward, but if you rummage around in the garage area itself, you do find that there's enough, like there's pieces there that are clearly designed as for adjusting vehicles. So like here's a little thing you can strap onto your boots.
They
and now
gave me a booster seat.
No, it's just like here's a. It's not a brick that straps to your shoe. It's something you actually step into and close a latch, but it
Okay.
allows you to get the extra bit of reach needed.
Okay.
Because usually it's not about as you may notice, like when people sit around and everyone gets on a chair. It's not as much as Hollywood makes it about height as much as everything else. Most of it's actually to do with length, like the cockpit length for the
leg
legs.
reach.
Yeah.
Also, it's Starcult. They probably have those for the child labor to drive the taxis.
Yeah. And the dashes, and unlike a lot of the dashes that they like to show off, this is a flat dash with a big like bus type wheel on it. So you're looking through the wheel partially, but you can see fine. Just don't ask what you just ran over when the truck kicks, because unless you saw it coming, you're not going to know what it was.
That's fine. Do I need to roll?
Nope, you just fire it up. Like I said, people from the right tech levels normally can just drive it. Since you have land vehicles, you can actually make checks against challenges, like to do stupid stuff.
Cool. I love doing stupid stuff.
Who doesn't? So you fire it up.
Yeah, and Matilda will drive. She's actually a relatively decent driver, all things considered. I have like a 10 in land vehicles.
With a deep-throated roar that in the echoing chamber of the garage sounds vaguely reminiscent of a dragon, she fires up. Before the gas fumes get to be too thick in the room, you pull out onto the road.
All right, map readers, get me the fuck out of here.
I was just about to say, pull out the map, and where are we supposed to be going once we got this thing?
The hell out of Thargold.
Anywhere but here.
Alright, so yeah, look at the map, and anywhere but Thargold.
Yep. I'll give you that favored
And I
survival
will
check
keep a
again.
lookout.
This
Alright,
time because you're familiar with where you're starting off with after having navigated.
I was just about to say, and I apologize, that was survival, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oddly enough, in this giant thing, we might not get as noticed.
Okay.
Sure, we blend in.
Just occasionally shoot off the side to really blend in.
I got the weapons for it.
Okay, so as you start directing and the mouse runs the beast, you notice, well, I call in for sure notices because the smell, but also our good friend Koji, as they're looking out through the back, can see coming from the further back in the neighborhood was this and a bunch of thralls. Like as you guys are peeling out of the south end of the neighborhood, he's walking into the north.
Glad we finished off that thug fight when we did.
Press faster on the gas, please.
Matilda will punch it. I am not worried about hitting anything in this neighborhood.
Whoops, didn't mean to do that.
Okay. Alright then, so what I would like is I would like a land vehicle check.
Because now I'm trying to not get into an accident.
More or less.
I was gonna say, can we assist by like leaning really hard in the directions that she's turning?
Yes, really. That's the type of thing you could.
I would assist.
Which, I mean, there's enough there to make it a 13 because you don't have quite enough people for a +3 in the group. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to activate another scene because this will just at least let you also see the vehicle you're in. You're not there yet. But you are driving a war wagon. It's this one's it's more of a pickup truck converted into a monster truck.
I've seen those.
Yeah.
Oh, currently
No
done.
scene.
Yeah, I get a.
Okay.
So I guess that
Alright.
because the tokens were already there. I guess that vision.
Yep. So I'll grab Kyle and I'll say like, all right. So when Matilda turns the corner, lean really hard this way. Now lean really hard this way.
It doesn't take very many corners to pick up on that as the truck tilts and slides. Um, it has really good handling, but the suspension makes the ride a little less enjoyable.
Did I mention that the beach house that I got pulled away from for this is like just down the road from a really good massage therapy place?
It's fine. It's just like riding on an ox.
I'll gesture vaguely at the demon behind us and go like, "This is not fine."
He's not the first demon you see. Um, you you start wondering if they're actually trying to coordinate, but no one's managed to pin you in before you get clear of the city. But like you'd round a corner, you'd take a hard right rounding the corner to head down that street, and as you make the corner on the left hand street, the other going behind you, there'd be another demon and his troops like coming out of a building. You shoot straight through like the second to last major intersection before leaving Lutz, and like both streets are completely barricaded on the sides and blockaded, but not the one out. As you can see, like this large thrall beast trying to haul something in the way, but it's not in time. The truck clips like the part of the vehicle, but your suspension carries you up and over it. Everyone has a little bit of a bumpy bounce ride for that, though.
Woohoo!
That was the reason for the land vehicle test.
That's fair.
And before long, you're driving through down the blasted highway, heading towards greener pastures.
Excellent. I'm sure the worst is behind us.
Don't bloody well curse us.
Again, I'll just kind of vaguely gesture at everything around us and say, like, I think we're already past that point.
You
Yeah,
say that
Cal
now.
mostly keeps watching hiss, and like when we pass the like techno demons and stuff, would have like hissed at them and growled, just showing aggression.
Yeah.
Hey, Cal, you got the box, right?
Yeah.
Alright.
So now where do I take this thing?
As far from here as possible.
The conditions and everything make you mostly follow the road, even though it's not in the best of shape. It's better than most of the blasted lands. Because while this isn't the blasted land proper, there's definitely the signs of the ever-marching forces of Tharkold taking over new territories and trying to settle in. As you're going, you hear people can start hearing because it's a sharp pitch whine, the sound of two off-road bikes racing towards you.
Motorcycles.
Awesome.
And when the people that can look go to take a look, they see that behind it, more conventionally sounding, so covered mostly by the sound of your own truck, is a spiked Volkswagen Beetle that has definitely seen better days, other than as a Mad Max type of vehicle.
Can you like shoot at some tires or something?
I was just gonna say, so you're driving. Where's everybody else?
You're in the front because you were navigating,
Okay.
and the other two are in like the back cab / back end. But in the picture of the war wagon is like strapped / welded in, so it's not a normal cab. Even if they're in there.
All right, let's pedal to the metal and shoot out some tires, I guess.
Yeah. So,
I mean, if you insist.
So we will begin a new one. It's depending how you handle it, depending how it rolls. It's technically a combat scene. Standard scene. It could wind up just being a dramatic resolution, as you like, which is a chase type scene. Has the same rules as dramatic resolution. It could be you blast them until they're not a problem anymore. But the initial card, unless someone wants to put things into their hand, I'll add you guys to the... I forgot to add you guys to the pool. So you can add your cards to the pool properly. There you go. You're represented by the War Wagon as well. So they strike. The villains go first. Heroes are fatigued, so everyone will have 2 points of shock. Maneuver is the approved action. In the case of Matilda can choose to do land vehicles instead as an approved action.
Sounds good.
But so the dirt bikes will come up alongside. Yes. Let me get the actors for them. Where were they? Is it that one? Okay. That's basically all the main drivers are all thrall specialists, so I'm just adding the one. So they come up alongside. And they will target the buggy. Now you can see they're carrying SMGs and a large hammer that they're able to wield one-handed, despite the size of it. Known as the impact hammer.
Hey, Matilda, got souvenirs for you too.
Sweet! I want one of those.
And they have very visible collars around their throats. Let's see there. Targets that. They do have a multi-action penalty because they are driving. About a +1 for assistance. As they basically, both of them try and slam that hammer into like one of the wheel wells to try and throw the truck to make it flip or something, but they fail.
Okay.
The buggy lags behind a bit, and its driver will instead just shoot. Well, the passenger and the driver's side will... the passenger will shoot. Which also fails.
Energy weapons.
Yeah, the Alpha Sprayer is an energy weapon.
What the hell?
Its beams of light just like pass by the back end of the vehicle. And the heroes are up.
All right.
I'm probably just going to do my drive test, so I'll go last.
Okay. Arthur basically looks over, assuming we're driving in a direction here.
Yeah.
Arthur will look over Matilda's shoulder and basically start waving his hand and basically doing blue binds of Bathat against the Doom Buggy.
Okay.
Bastet, yeah.
Second here. I'm going to take a look at that.
So, on Excellent. Success, stymie, and vulnerable. I was trying for the good because then it's restrained and it can't move.
It's been a possibility. Might get you up to a good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because what'd you roll? Yeah, you are still succeeding currently, but it's just a base success.
I was just gonna say, so now I can use a possibility to try and, for lack of better terms, push that.
Yeah, to increase it. It still says standard because it's undefined. It's a good success.
Excellent. So yeah, basically going to try and constrict the Doom Buggy from following us.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, stymied, invulnerable, and restrained. Okay. I need to click on a bunch of things.
I was gonna say is I want to try to intimidate the two bikers.
You may put a card into your pool. Go ahead. You may try and intimidate the two bikers. You can just target the Thrall Specialist so that you have the active pool and your multi-target penalty is in play. Okay.
Well, that went poorly.
Yep. Just quickly check something.
They can't see you in the back of the big truck.
Hard to be intimidated from back there.
Right? No, that's not what I'm looking for. Just a moment here. Okay, there's nothing there for failing on intimidate. Success once on the card. All right, well, you get to put a card into your pool, so there's that at least.
Alrighty. So I'm going to get to the back. And I am going to try to jump onto the back of one of the motorcycles as a maneuver.
Okay.
Oh man, we've been rolling like shit. I'm gonna try to get a possibility. Oh, standard success. So I'd like to think that he is maybe very stymied because I hopped on the back of the bike with him.
Well, I'll definitely give you stymied. You need a good for very.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
So I'll make him stymied.
Yeah. Not both of them. Somehow I had them. Are they... Oh, wait. That's in play. Okay. It's because they're from the same thing. They all just... The token flags it.
Yep.
Just because it's a vehicle type, I guess, because it didn't happen with the guys. Alrighty.
I will draw a card.
Yeah.
And I will play a flurry into my pool.
Oh, nice.
And then I am just literally rolling to keep us on the road. Where did my vehicles? There they are.
Okay, you can draw. You may draw a card and then play one into your pool.
So draw an extra one?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh wait, they don't have acted yet. Other than that, I'm getting ahead of myself. But remember, everyone to take your 2 points of shock.
Yep.
We need to take more shock?
No, the 2 for the round. That's all I'm just reminding.
So we should only be at
Reminder, 'cause
2,
I
though,
forgot.
correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Making sure I'm not taking more. Okay, that's me.
Ooh, the going gets tough. Villains will go first with inspiration. Not that they have shock to worry about at the moment. Heroes will go second. Intimidate is the approved action. So they'll. I'll move you guys off the. I'll move you guys off the road just for ease of tracking things here.
The Doom Buggy needs to make a check to move.
I was gonna say, can the Doom Buggy move?
He can make a check to row. He can make a check.
Yeah, it's a strength versus my conjuration.
Yeah.
Which I'm hoping the guy's got more than my conjuration.
Yeah. Well, what's your conjuration, sir?
Let's try 13.
Okay. Well, the thing is, it's a check, which means we're both rolling anyway. Because it'll determine our final number of results will determine a lot. Just trying to double check something here. So if you want to roll your conjuration, I'll get you in a second.
I mean, to be fair, you were trying to hold back an entire truck.
Oh, but we'll see how bad this opponent fails. It's almost like destiny's on her side or something.
Yeah.
Oh, almost like.
Doesn't have a thing for it, so I'll have to use this. With the modifier. So it is succeeding currently.
Okay, so then yeah, I will burn my opponent fails destiny card.
Okay.
So we can deal with 2 motorcycles, but probably not another dune buggy.
So he tries to move, and his engine just magically turns off.
No, like he's. It's like he's stuck in some mud. Like he's throwing up dirt and gravel and everything. The wheels are turning. There's definitely traction, but it doesn't seem. But it's just not moving.
There's another one.
Yeah, coming from the other side, you can make them out as the other 2 come and try and do their hammer attacks again. Yeah, I've got that targeted. Yeah, okay. Bong. The hammers just bounce off the wheels with no effect. Might be because they were one of them was stymied, maybe. Who knows? But what I do know is it's the hero's turn.
Attempt to intimidate part 2.
You may attempt to intimidate part 2 Electric Boogaloo.
I'll go for the 2 near us.
Okay. So, stymied or vulnerable? I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
I'll make him stymied.
Okay.
So I hiss and growl and show off my big scary claws.
Okay, so because you're in Tharcold, you have the ability at succeeding on the Intimidate action. You draw 2 cards and keep 1.
Ooh, nice love ferocity.
Yep.
Flurry, yeah, I'm keeping that.
Okay.
I also already have a second chance, so.
Yeah, like, I suppose. Alright. So that still leaves us with Arthur and Koji.
Yep. Go ahead there, Arthur.
Alright, so question about concentration.
Yep.
So this requires concentration for blue bands.
Yep.
How does that work?
You can only maintain 1 concentration spell or effect at a time.
Okay.
You're at a -2 for anything else you do while you're concentrating, as you're technically multi-acting.
Cool. Alright. So, because I'm concentrating on an existing spell, can I cast another?
Yes.
That doesn't
as
require
long as it's not a
concentration?
concentration spell, yes.
Okay. Alright, so Arthur's going to look out the window and try and get one of these bikers withered to a husk.
Okay. Remember, you can target the Thrall Specialist because that's the actual driver, because the vehicle doesn't have stats other than its speed.
Yeah, I just realized that when I did that.
Yeah, it's got its speed, armor, and toughness, but not the actual stats for... that's why I had to roll land vehicles for the strength check.
So, is it multi-action penalty where I take the
Yes.
-2?
It's the easiest way to put it. Oh. Oh, no.
Here we go again.
Well, roll those 2 bonus dice, friend. Okay.
Here we go again.
Well, I gotta check. That is more than enough to kill that cyclist. So the bike, the cyclist will die, but I'll drop the bike back because basically it just falls to the ground with their gear as they wither to a husk. You may put a card into your pool. It should be your second card, but unless you played one already. Oh yeah, you played Phone of Fails already. All right. Koji, Matilda.
Go ahead, Chris. I'm just gonna roll my land vehicles. So
Alright. I am going to put my Synesthetic Viper up to this guy's head and blow him away.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's everything. Failure? I do not fail at guns. I was spend a possibility.
I don't fail at guns. Guns fail at me.
It's a 21 versus.
Yep.
It would actually be versus his melee because I'm in melee with him.
Yeah, and it's well, his unarmed.
Yep.
Which is the same.
Okay. I am rolling shit for damage.
You really are. Well, that's some shock.
Well, I will play my flurry.
You will activate your flurry for after Matilda goes. Okay.
Yep.
So put your other card down, play your flurry, and we'll get Matilda's go.
Yep.
okay. Land vehicles. Ooh. I'm gonna play a hero card
Yep.
to reroll that.
If that's what's in your pool, you can play your hero.
So I
Just
play
hit.
hero card.
So just click on hero.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I just reroll.
Nope,
that.
you just click hero on the
Oh.
roll.
Oh, I didn't even. I'm sorry. I can't see that.
Yeah.
I see it now. That's better.
That is definitely better.
So I almost lose it for a second and then I grab it back again.
Yeah. So as you succeed, you can draw a card and then you play one down.
Cool. Sorry, that's really small writing and I'm really blind.
It's alright. Okay, which will bring us to Koji's Flurry.
I will shoot him again. I figure it's like a John Woo thing where I'm just like pulling the trigger a bunch of times as I'm on the back of his bike.
Yeah, like the first round pings off the helmet, the second round goes in deeper.
Something's got to hit eventually.
The hell? I have no possibilities. But now, because I'm out here and I'm exposed to the radiation, I am going to play my Cosm card
Oh, nice.
because I like Cosm cards. So I will play Irradiated. So I take a wound, but I gain 3 possibilities.
Yep.
Nice.
And then I will use one of those possibilities to shoot this guy in the head.
Yep.
Keep trying.
And then I will use the action card that I played down.
Good success. Roll your bonus.
Finally, for, all of that.
Yeah.
It was a really thick helmet.
And you now are in possession of a Yamaha.
Woohoo! I would try to pop a wheelie, but I'm not trained in driving, so...
As you fire and use the hole that was already made, and you feel him go limp, so you're able just to roll him off as you take over.
Alright, and with that, because if I'm not mistaken, I get to play a second card into my pool at the end of my
That is
turn,
correct.
So I'll play down a rally, and then I will play the rally.
Okay.
So anybody can discard as many cards as they wish from their hands, and then immediately refill them.
So back to 4 Destiny cards, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
it counts the ones in your pool.
Okay.
It doesn't actually refreshes
Oh.
your hand.
No, no.
It's a really nice card.
Yeah. I've not run across it when it's been this later into the combat.
I kind of like my hand, so.
I will. No, this card. I mean, other than that, that's me. I'm done.
Okay. Well, keep in
I like
mind.
my hand.
Keep in mind that if you have played any and your hand is less than 4, you draw back up to 4.
Yeah.
Oh, so if we've played cards and we have less than 4, we draw up to 4?
Yeah, so you have 4 in
Yep.
your hand plus whatever's in your pool.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Believe Jess might still get a card because she's got one in the pool. Oh no, she's been drawing every round.
I thought I was supposed to.
Yeah, you are. No, I'm just doing quick math in my head. That's all.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next.
All right.
That old chestnut. Yeah, heroes will be going first. The villains remain will be fatigued, so 2 points of shock. If I will permit for both people driving, regardless. If Matilda gets another good plus success, you will pull away enough that you'll escape the rest of the pursuit.
Perfect.
Do we want me to roll first then?
May as well.
I will possibility that. I don't think I've used any.
Okay.
That's better.
Good plus, nice. All right. So whether it's just the talented pathfinding and driving of your dwarven rigor, or just also the coincidental timing of the doom buggy breaking its restraints and then bouncing over the wrecks of the other vehicle, blocking everyone else off temporarily, you're able to peel away from them and escape the ground pursuit.
If I have the opportunity, I would like stop momentarily to pick up the impact hammer, since I told Matilda that there was a souvenir for her.
Yeah. Well, it's heavy and unwieldy, but something because they were holding it as they went slack, you could grab it with the hand not grabbing the handlebars.
Okay, perfect.
And since the truck's right there, you could have just like lobbed it up before grabbing full control.
I'll be like, hey Kyle, catch.
Hey, Kyle has fallen asleep.
Sorry, yeah, I zoned out for a second.
No worries.
It was a little spacey. What did I miss? Sorry.
I just tossed the impact hammer into the back of the truck to you.
I don't even know if I'm good
No,
with...
It's so Matilda can have a souvenir as you guys are escaping.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool. I'll make sure it's secure so it doesn't get damaged or anything by cargo fast.
Matilda has a thing for hammers.
Oh, like, I'm trying to remember Chris's character's name. Has thing for guns.
Yes.
Koji.
Koji.
Yeah, Koji has things for guns. Tilda has things for hammers. Kyle just likes to claw the shit out of things. I don't know what's up with Arthur yet.
Don't
It's so
get on
far
his
to
bad side.
turning people into withered husks.
Yeah.
Sand
Although-
magic.
Matilda also mostly uses claws. She's got a bunch of hammers in case the claws don't work for some reason.
Well, the hammers are better damage, but the AP on the claws can be a big difference maker in those and when it applies to. It really comes down to situational.
That makes sense.
Because there are also things that while they're listed as being armored, armor piercing doesn't work on them.
Oh, okay.
Such as you can get an enchantment called Fortified. Ignores armor piercing. Up to a certain level. So there's options on both sides of the board for it. You usually don't run into the bad guys that have it until more threatening things.
Yeah. That impact hammer, though, I think I can wield that because I think her warhammer is like two-handed and unwieldy also.
Yeah. So what I'll do, I'll open up that second here. It should be there. There it is. And I have added the impact hammer to your list. It has stagger. So does yours. And it does not have unwieldy.
No.
And from the earlier fight, so you're able to pull away and you get clear, and not long after that you actually cross the border out of Tharcold territory and back into Core Earth.
Woo!
Added the Thav9 to your equipment there, Koji.
Oh, excellent. Thank you. Oh, the whole time, like once I get to the point where I get off the bike and back into the truck, I am keeping my eye open for demon, because
And like when the group stops, so you can like get off the bike and maybe put it in the back of the vehicle, and climb back in yourself. You notice, like almost as if the realm is a tangible wall. You do notice a demon floating just above the road you left behind, with his wings not flapping, because despite his wings being outstretched, they gleam metallic in the light, but they don't move while he's held aloft. And you realize that because he's not advancing, and you guys aren't rushing when you realize he's not advancing, you are able to realize that that's the exact same demon that you initially saw. The one on the streets. And you never got a good look at the ones that were attacking the plane, but it does look a lot like at least one of those vague shapes. So it's potential that that's the same, that demon's been harrying you the whole time. But for now, you're clear. You're now in territory has the option of rapid response from the Delhi Council and the United Earth Forces. And at this moment in time, it doesn't seem like it wants to challenge that. Maybe it's the sun rising and on a new day, as you've done most of your work through the night. Maybe it's the greener pastures around you. It's hard to tell. But just as Matilda fires the engine back up to get rolling, he seems to make a whatever gesture towards you and then starts to fly away.
I'll quietly hiss, because I don't want it to actually come attack us, because we don't need that right now. But I'm still gonna, like, hiss.
Alright, let's get this fucking
Aggressive
thing to the
lizard
council.
noises.
Arthur will look over at Koji and heal his point of wound.
Yep. Yeah, we're into the denouement of the first action, so because we're about that time of night anyway. So, as with most of the fronts that they have the option available to them, the Delhi Council have taken over Ramstein in Germany for their main operations, which isn't that long of a drive overall. Keeping in mind that relative size of Europe to Canada. Like, you're probably somewhere around Wroclaw when you get across the border after being chased through the wildlands. And yeah, it's not super far to go. Basically like a good drive from St. John or Fredericton to, Edmonton, not Edmonton.
Yeah, from Lotz to Ramstein is 1,066 kilometers.
Yeah. Wow, okay, so it's more like drive to Toronto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fine. You drove through the night anyway, so by this point, at this point, it's about the drive to Edmonton.
Yeah. I was just super curious because I know sizes are weird for those of us in North America.
Oh no, that's not the drive to Toronto. That's barely the drive to Montreal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go, guys, for keeping that feather in your hat.
I mean, we drove through like the equivalent of like 3 countries.
Yeah.
That's fine, though.
Right.
How many hours is that?
Enough.
Depends how fast you drive.
Yeah.
Just push the pedal all the way down and put more space between us and the demon.
Matilda has no problem doing that.
Once you're out of there, you're on well-maintained highways, multi-lane. There's you're in the highways in Europe. Most of them are, while the roads are narrower than we're used to here, they do tend to be a bit more open. overall traffic-wise, easier to handle, more lanes.
Does our stolen monster truck get looks?
Oh, absolutely. But
This big old Mad Max like modified diesel belching smokestack thing
Yeah.
bombing down the Autobahn.
yeah, you definitely get looks by all the morning and afternoon commuters on your way to Ramsey, but nothing like pull over, guys. Like nothing like
You-
that.
Okay. I was gonna say
I was
even
gonna
better if it's
say
like
they
tiny
might
little
not want to
female
pull us
behind the
over.
wheel.
'Cause- Oh, sorry, I was gonna say they might not want to pull us over because the lizard would probably be glaring at anyone who stared too long.
No, we're getting closer to the end of the first year of the possibility war. Most people, while they might not have encountered stuff directly, have seen more than enough of it on the news to know that there's a lot of weird stuff afoot, and might not be best to get involved with. There's people that can take care of that. People like you. So before long, you're pulling into the base. You're stopped at the gates. They ask for your identities. As long as no one lies or provocates or anything, you'll be flagged through.
Economist knows well enough to not provocate people he's supposed to be working with. Just strangers who aren't people he's working with.
Yeah. And you're directed to well, basically an empty meeting room. It's like take your stuff in there. There'll be someone along to speak with you momentarily. Inside there's hot beverages, coffee, tea, there's water, there's pastries and a couple other assorted items.
Tea and donuts.
Arthur will totally make himself very, very nice warm tea.
Matilda will grab a coffee and a pastry. They showed me how to make these.
It's fairly good, and you start to suspect by design as opposed to coincidence. You're given enough time to relax a little bit, to get a full beverage into you, maybe a snack or two, start your refill before the door opens and a gentleman in a three-piece tailored Italian suit walks in.
Rule of thumb: don't agitate the adrenaline-fueled bounty hunters. I guess.
Good day, Storm Knights. Welcome to Ramstein. I am representative of the Delhi Council on site at the moment. My name is Jonah Krieg. Can I get your debriefing, please? Which mission were you on? What were the results, and do you have anything to deliver?
So I guess I would deliver the box we recovered.
The burlap twine wrapped item or items, yes.
Oh, right, yeah, the sack, yeah.
We found the thing you had a hard time getting out of there.
We were airdropped over Poland and landed in Lodz to retrieve this item.
And then outran a demon.
And killed like 20 thugs.
Well, loss of life from enemy combatants can be expected in these types of situations. Hopefully you don't take that weight upon yourself.
Never have before.
Were there any other complications or just local resistance?
Local resistance. And did the airplane that dropped us
demon.
off make its way back?
The the aircraft, unfortunately, sounds like it was lost in the wilds. However, we did recently pick up some pilots that were near Gdansk. They managed to cross the border.
Good.
The plane may have gone down in the Baltic.
We think demons might have took it down.
Demons or techno demons?
Techno demons.
Techno demon.
There's a difference?
I was going to say,
There absolutely is.
Sorry. I'm new to all the shiny metal things with wires.
Well, I'm certain that as a member of Isle, likely with the forces of light, you've had to deal with summoned demons from evil necromancers before, or at least heard from them, or evil sorcerers.
That's I'm fine with. I didn't realize there was a difference between the two.
Oh yes, and then there's high demons, there's low demons. There's plenty of things out there, but that's neither here nor there, other than clarifying what you encountered. So they took down the plane, and then other than that, you had local resistance on your encounters.
Yeah. We got the item. We killed some techno demons, thugs, ran out of there, and
It did try to follow us out.
but it didn't want to leave its cursed lands.
Interesting. I'll make note of that. Now, he reaches into his belt and rummages in one of his pockets and pulls out a flip knife, which he snaps open with a practiced maneuver and cuts the twine around the package. Let's see here. What did they find? Unwraps the burlap carefully, slowly. A hint of eagerness in every motion, but the practiced reservation of someone that you never know what you might get. Has more or less been the watchword. And he opens it up, and there's this... At first glance, you would say it's pewter. A pewter chalice of some kind with a silver interior. Silvered interior, possibly silver. But what's striking about it is the pewter work around the chalice itself. Nothing about it is something that you would expect from the region. Like there's nothing Tharkoldu about it, but there's also nothing that immediately strikes you as Slavic either. If anything, the work on it, despite being the material it is, seems more Central Asian.
I'll take a look at it.
As you lean in closer, you realize it's not the Pan-Pacific Alliance areas at all. No, the work that's on it, while it's that level of fine detail, is more reminiscent of India. And that's when you realize at the same time, because of how close you're looking, potentially all of you at this point, that the pewter itself is, you realize it's been scoured. Like, you can see hints that this is supposed to be a blackened exterior, with the silver interior. And you note that in the various iconography that there's missing pieces, whether they're gems or just other pieces that had been attached. You can just see where things have been taken out. They're no longer there. That could put the rest of it all together.
So we're missing some gems.
Or somebody else has them.
Yeah. And tucked inside, which he doesn't tucked underneath. So when he picks it up to examine it after you've gotten an initial look after you held it, a small folded over several times piece of paper falls out from the bottom. It's definitely seen wear. He just falls onto the table and he doesn't seem to notice it as he's examining the item.
Yeah, Arthur will go grab for that.
Unfolding it, you can see that the paper's mostly worn, potentially by someone having folded it over and carried it in their pocket, and then tucked it in the package at the end would probably be what you expect. In a very shaky handwriting in proper English, you see must keep away. Darkness rises. The Gaunt Man comes? Question mark. And in another handwriting, like scrawled on the end of it is like, he cannot, this is not his territory. He cannot come here.
So we should probably show that to the guy that we gave the thing to.
And with that, we'll draw it to a close. As you have a note to consider, an item to ponder, and know that, yes, between now and the next time you're sent on a mission, he absolutely will have noticed and read the note, and perhaps have notes for you as well, which we will discuss off screen.
Excellent.
And with that, I thank you for joining us for our first session. Yeah. Per standard Torg Eternity rules of advancement, everyone gains 5 XP.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
And we will gather again in 2 weeks' time for the next scene or act of Chasing the Eye.
Perfect. All right. Thanks a lot.
Wonderful.
Thanks,
Thank you
everyone.
for running.
Thank you, folks.
Have yourselves
Yeah.
a lovely evening.
You too. Thanks for game.
Goodbye.
See y'all in 2 weeks.
Thanks,
Bye.
Alan 2 weeks.
Have a good night, guys.
Goodbye.
See ya.